We are back live. Got about 27 minutes left in global transmission. Then we launch the replay. What an amazing show today. We had Alan Watt on, BobDacey, now MikeRiviero, Australian film crew from national TV, and we have the Independent Film Channel making a separate profile on me. And then the Independent Film Channel, in a couple months, is coming out with a film called The New World Order, the main selection at South by Southwest this year. And, man, I tell you, it kind of gets scary, Bob, the amount of people we're starting to reach, because, I mean, it's just like exponential.
Yeah, but you know, the deal is, Alex, the truth sells, and you're peddling the truth, man. And that's just the bottom line.
Yeah, I just feel sorry for all the other, quote, patriot groups and people that got jealous early on of our success, because my goal was to bring a platform for everybody to be on. There's hundreds of people I don't have on because they're vicious liars and demons, and I watched them destroy themselves because of that, and it's just so sad in their desperate attempt to stop me. And I don't think most of them are even government agents. It's just such a sick society, Bob.
Well, you know, you have natural jealousies in any endeavor, but the fact of the matter is, you know, I've known you for, 11 years now, and, you know, AlexJones tells the truth. He may make it all exciting or something like that, and he gets all excited about it.
It is exciting that bankers have hijacked this, and then major newspapers are announcing a giant bank of the world will rule everything, and I'm going to pay carbon taxes to them. That is exciting. We need to get excited.
Exactly, but a lot of people use that against you. So he's flying off the handle or something like that. But it's true. How could you not be excited about it when that's all you do is study it?
They've introduced bills to ban all semi-automatics. They've introduced bills to psychologically register all gun owners. They've introduced bills to mark all the ammo and track it and make you get $1 million insurance.
Not just psychologically register all gun owners. They've introduced a bill that would make you a criminal if you didn't register your old 38 that's been in your house for 15 years. You could be an automatic felon.
I know, exactly. Listen, I get on air and describe these gun bills, and people email me saying, you're not saying as bad as it is. I mean, folks, it's happening. I mean, they're making their move right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and, you know, tyrants hate people with guns.
They were just asking me how I have so much energy. How would I not have this much energy? I mean, this is insane.
You didn't take enough Prozac and Ritalin when you were a kid, man. Or something. Maybe you didn't drink enough fluoride. I don't know. Got too many vaccines.
We just had an ISDN cut out, but we're back on air with our quadrupled backups to the satellite uplinks in Houston. We're here at Cape Canaveral. Houston is Minnesota. This is launch site Cape Canaveral. But we do have a great responsibility as well, like they say in the Spider-Man movie. Let's go ahead and go back to MikeRiviero. Mike, there's a lot going on. How do you see them? We talked about how they're going to fail, but they are coming at us with Internet 2, admitting that it is to censor the web. I mean, we need to fight this and get the word out. They've got hate laws introduced to basically restrict all sorts of speech in the U.S. They're talking about making it a crime to deny climate denial, associating that with denying the Holocaust. I mean, it's getting bad.
Yeah, it really is getting bad. They're talking about climate denial. They're talking about 9/11 denial. And all they're really doing is advertising the fact that they're scared, that they can't win the arguments on the basis of facts, logic, and science, and so they're just going to bludgeon people into believing as they're told. And I'm rather honored that you quoted me earlier on. The fastest way to bring down a dictator is to get him to act like one where everybody can see it. And that is what's going on right now. And you're talking about the audience flooding over to Prison Planet and InfoWars and your radio show and my radio show and so forth and so on. I got to tell you, and maybe this is because so many people are losing their jobs, the email to my show has doubled just in the last 3 weeks to my website. It's just going through the roof. The audience numbers are going up for me. I'm sure they're doing exactly the same for you. We're picking up more and more affiliates. People want to know what's going on. They know the government is lying, and the more the government is pushing, trying to get people back into that little box they're supposed to be living in, the more people are fighting back. And I'm seeing so much anger expressed out there as to what's going on. And, you know, it's like a magician and a trick. As long as you don't know the trick is going on, you'll admire the pretty lights and say, ooh, it's there. But once you know something's happened, you can't make yourself forget. Once you know that there really isn't an Easter bunny, you can't be coerced to going back to saying, yes, there is one. And so all these beliefs are falling apart.
I want to get final comments from you, MikeRiviero, but BobDacey's got to go. He's got to go back and run his little hardware store, one of the last independent standalone hardware stores in Austin.
Hey, I'm trying to wait for my bailout, actually, Alex. I go to the mailbox every day, and I'm trying to get that $500,000 executive compensation minimum check from the government. and then I'll shut up. You know, I mean, really, because I deserve 500,000, and you know, from those according to their abilities to those according to their needs. So, you know, why don't I just go into this thing and wait for my executive compensation? I promise I won't take any more than $500,000 max. I promise.
Tell folks where your little hardware store is in Austin that don't want to go to the big box stores.
Well, you know, we're the local True Value franchise here in Austin, and we're at Spicewood Springs Road and 183 in Northwest Austin, and we have a hardware store, and we make screens, and we sell AlexJones videos, and do a little bit of locksmithing, and do all kinds of things.
You even sell guns.
We even, well,
go to the rabble slave with a weapon. Disarm him. Get the guards. Disarm him immediately. Whereas one of the slaves has a weapon. Raise the alarm. Raise it. Oh, good Lord.
The problem with the selling of guns right now, Alex, is they're awful hard to get right now.
But the rabble, you can't have the slaves, the serfs having weapons.
Barack the Quack has made everyone want to buy guns. He's been really good for the gun industry.
Lord Obama is a sensible individual. Total disarmament of the civilian population under the UNIDEA 2001 July 7th agreement to disarm all civilians for a power monopoly of the state under UN law is the only sensible system if we're going to carry out eugenics against these slaves. They're rabble scum. They need to be euthanized immediately. And how dare them not want to be slaves? How dare them not want to be in inner city reservations? How dare them not submit to us and our divine will? We're geniuses.
And what Alex just said is actually factual. It was Christoph Karl and Patricia Lewis, UNIDEA 2000, in a paper they put out called Disarming, Taking this Military-Style Weapons Away from Civilians. Everything he just joked about right now is actually documented in fact.
Of course we must take all your firearms.
Including the semi-automatic.
How are we going to re-educate you to accept being euthanized if we don't...
According to Obama and his people, the right of the people to keep and bear flintlocks shall not be infringed.
The founding fathers, as you've seen in our FEMA training videos, to police in Kansas City, were terrorists against the crown. The Second Amendment is a vicious crime.
Absolutely.
I have a comment here.
How dare you? I will disarm you immediately. That man there laughing, seize him. He has been rude to a lordship. Mike, would you like to do an English imitation?
No, but I did have a comment here. There's one positive thing about a flintlock, and that is you learn how to place your shots, and you don't waste any ammo. And don't diss the muzzle loaders, because we don't have paperwork following our guns around, and once you learn how to place that shot, those old rifles can be very, very accurate at a distance.
By the way, they have bills in it. Well, that's why I was trained on a single-shot 22, because you load it each time, and I mean, literally... I could shoot a bullseye at 200 yards with that when I was a little kid.
Well, you know, the Supreme Court back in '39 said that if the weapons that were really protected by the Second Amendment were the type in common use at the time by the military, and it just so happens that during the time of the Revolution that the civilians, the militiamen, had better rifles than the regular army. They had rifles, and the regular army
had the long rifle,
smooth-bore muskets.
Yeah,
the brown vests couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
How dare you speak badly of the gracious imperial forces of King George III?
I'm sorry,
as he put down that disgusting rebellion by these uppity slaves.
Pardon me, I'm just trying to do a little historical context here, Alex. That's all. The militiamen had better rifles than the regular army. So
they were disgusting, wild, savage heathens. And we went forward to confiscate their firearms, and they dare fired back at us.
Yes, as what's it the movie said? Was it in the Patriot? These rustics are so inept.
Yes.
Yeah, and the rustics won.
Yes, the rustics won definitely because they learned how to place their shots.
Now we put fluoride in their water. That teaches them. I'm sorry, Mr. Rivero. Go ahead.
Well, listen, you don't have to worry about fluoride in the water if you're drinking beer all the time.
Absolutely. Listen, BobDacey, great having you here.
Thank you very much, Alex. Mike, good seeing you, man. I'm glad to talk to you the first time. And I will
good to talk to you, too.
I will continue to go to whatreallyhappened.com every day right after I go to Infowars.com.
All right,
Y'all
Bob,
take care.
Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Guys, get ready with the YouTube video of the supposed camera and microphone in the Magnavox digital TV converter, because we're gonna go over that here in a moment. Bye con Dios, Bob. All right, I've been ranting and raving here for the cameras. Final comments, MikeRiviero. They're really beating the drums now about Iran having secret weapons and devil drones. Looks like they're really trying to build that back up. Israel admitted a few days ago they're launching terror attacks inside Iran to try to get them to do something. Where do you see that going?
Well, obviously, you know, the U.S. government knows they're in serious, serious trouble, and I think they're trying to go back to the conventional wisdom that if they can get a good regional or global war going, that we, the American people, will forget all about the lies and the cheating and the economic hardships, and we'll just line up behind the flag and salute smartly and throw our children into the flames of a foreign war yet again. I don't think it's going to work because, again, the dynamics by which information flows through our society has completely changed. But I think the people running our government are a bunch of old Cold War fossils who don't get it. They don't understand how the information environment has completely changed.